Hello, and welcome to the very first episode of our podcast, In Words, Insights on Governance and Sustainability. This is the podcast where we explore ideas in corporate sustainability, governance, and well-being. I'm Gordon.
And I'm Sarah. We're thrilled to have you join us as we kick off this brand new series based on the 15th anniversary commemorative ebook by the Center for Governance and Sustainability at the National University of Singapore Business School. The ebook is called 15 Lessons in Corporate Sustainability and Governance. Each episode will unpack key lessons and offer research insights for businesses and organizations.
Today, we're diving into a topic that's at the heart of every sustainability conversation: the incentive for sustainability. Why should companies care about climate change and sustainable practices? Is it just about doing the right thing, or is there a compelling business case?
That's right, Gordon. And to answer that, we're drawing on a fascinating article featured in the ebook, which explores the three angles that drive companies to embrace sustainability: responsibility, risk, and rationale.
Let's start with responsibility. This is the angle most of us are familiar with: the idea that companies have a duty to the community not to degrade the environment. It's about corporate altruism, putting society above profit. But as the article points out, relying solely on goodwill isn't enough to move the needle for most businesses.
Exactly. That brings us to the second angle: risk. Companies are increasingly aware of both direct and derived risks from climate change. Direct risks include physical impacts like severe weather, floods, and hurricanes that can disrupt supply chains and damage assets. Derived risks come from new demands by consumers, investors, and regulators for climate action, which can affect sales, capital costs, and even require operational changes.
But here's the real turning point, and the third angle: rationale. For businesses to truly commit to sustainability, they need to see the tangible benefits. It's about self-interest and the financial bottom line. The article cites a University of Oxford and Arabesque Partners analysis of over 200 studies, showing that 88% found good sustainability practices led to better operational performance, and 80% linked them to improved stock price performance.
And there's local evidence too. A study by the NUS Center for Governance and Sustainability and the ASEAN CSR Network found a significant positive relationship between sustainability reporting and firm value among Singapore-listed companies. So the business case is real and growing stronger.
Still, the challenge remains: how do we convince every company, one by one, that climate action is in their own best interest? The article shares a memorable story of a printing company CEO who resisted sustainability, claiming it would put him out of business. Ironically, his real threat was the PDF file format, not sustainability itself.
That's such a telling example. It shows how some leaders see sustainability as a threat, when in fact, the real threats may be elsewhere, and sustainability could be the path to resilience and innovation.
On the policy front, Singapore is stepping up. In early 2025, Prime Minister Lawrence Wong had announced a 5 billion Singapore dollars top-up to the Coastal and Flood Protection Fund and more climate vouchers for households. Singapore has also submitted a new climate target to the United Nations, aiming to reduce emissions to between 45 and 50 million tons by 2035, which is lower than the 2030 target.
It's a national effort. But as the article reminds us, the real battle is fought company by company. The Paris Agreement set the global stage, but it's up to each business to act and report on progress. And that means building a compelling business case that goes beyond responsibility and risk to rationale.
So as we wrap up our first episode, here are our key takeaways. Firstly, companies must see sustainability as a business benefit, not just a social responsibility. Secondly, the risks of inaction are growing, from physical impacts to regulatory and market pressures. Thirdly, the evidence is clear: good sustainability practices do drive better performance and value.
And that's just the beginning. In future episodes, we'll explore more research findings and ideas from the Center for Governance and Sustainability at NUS Business School and offer practical tips for embedding sustainability and governance into your organization.
Thank you for joining us on our podcast. If you enjoyed this episode, please subscribe, share, and let us know your thoughts. Until next time, stay well and stay sustainable.